Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing another deep dive into another bug type Pokemon, and that is going to be Heracross. Man, the bug types are really stealing the spotlight this month. In this meta, Heracross's main selling point is that he is a bug type with the move Counter. We all know that Counter is an amazing fast move, and with Heracross being part bug type, he resists Counter as well. Now what does that mean? Let's find out. But first, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all PvP and Silph Arena content. Heracross having Counter means that he is going to be a top tier counter to Vigoroth. And we all know that Vigoroth is going to be on everybody's team. Although Heracross is a counter to Vigoroth, you still have to be careful of those stab body slams. But he does better than a lot of other counters like Ninjask. And if you guys haven't seen that Ninjask video, make sure to check that out in my last video. Not only is he good against Vigoroth, but he is also good against the other bug steel types. For example, Fortress and Scizor. Because they have steel typing, Counter is just going to do so much damage. And let's not forget to mention that even though Heracross is part bug, he still beats the Rock Boys. The Rock Boys meaning Alolan Golem and Alolan Graveler. He's a fighting type. He takes out Vigoroth. He takes out Fortress. He takes out Scizor. He does amazing against the Rock guys. Now who else does he do against? Remember, he is a bug type, which means he will counter the grass Pokemon as well. With Mega Horn, he's going to do just one shot. If you find yourself in a scenario where you're going to be going up against a grass type Pokemon and you use a Mega Horn, I can almost guarantee that you are going to one shot that Pokemon. In terms of moveset, we all know that Counter is an amazing fast move. It offers so much coverage in this meta. And him being bug type and being able to resist Counter, but also using Counter and having stab damage, he's going to be a super viable Pokemon in this meta. Struggle Bug is just not a good move, so it's easily to be said that Counter is going to be the move of choice. For charge moves, this one seems like really up in the air. We know for sure you want to be able to use Mega Horn. That way you can be able to counter the grass types. Now, the other two moves are Close Combat and Earthquake. Again, those are your choice. If you have Close Combat, you can find yourself in a situation where you have a lot of energy and you can be able to just one-shot that Vigoroth. On the other side, you can also have Earthquake, which is going to give you some more coverage against the electric types. And if you can land an Earthquake on Lantern or Raichu, guaranteed one-shot. Heracross's biggest weakness is going to be the flying types, which means if you are going to be going up against a flying type, you are going to have a 4 times weakness to those flying moves. Which means, again, if you are going to be in a situation where you're going to have your Heracross and he switches into a Noctowl or a Pidgeot, you need to get out of there right away. On a team of 3, when using Heracross, you'd want to partner it up with something that counters Heracross's counter. That would be the flying types. So the Pokemon I would pick for my second slot would be an electric type, meaning the Rock Boys, Lantern, Raichu. My personal favorite is going to be either Lantern or Alolan Raichu. You really don't want to get yourself in a situation where you are switch locked against a flying type Pokemon. The only way to really get out of it is by somehow pulling off a close combat on the Noctowl, and that will do some serious damage. But other than that, he's just going to be able to J-farm you. Finally, you're going to need your third Pokemon. So now you have your Heracross and you have your electric types. Now you need something that's going to be able to bodyguard your electric types, but also do very well with Heracross. The Pokemon I have of choice is going to be Venomoth. Now I'm going to be making a separate video on Venomoth, so stay tuned for that. Now, going back into it, you're going to be using Venomoth because Venomoth will be doing a really great matchup against Vigoroth. Plus you also have your Heracross, so that you're double teaming, and then you also have, it counters the grass poison types. So now you're gonna have your Venomoth be able to counter the Venusaur, which the Venusaur can do a very great job as countering your electric type. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's more of a synergized team in a sense. But again, your 3-man team will be based on your opponent's team, so it's just a good example of how you can synergize a team well together. Alright guys, now let's move on to some battles and let's see how we do. Now on to some battles. We're going to be going in with our Heracross as the lead, and he's going to be coming in with his Vigoroth. Now we have a pretty hard counter to this Vigoroth, so we're going to be hitting him with a couple of counters, and we're ready for him to go in for the switch. Now once we see that Noctowl, we click on the Raichu, we get a little bit of glitch, but it's okay. We're going to have our Alolan Raichu come in, and he's going to be hitting us with a Sky Attack, and we are not shielding that. We are going to be perfectly fine. We're not going to shield because we want to keep our shields for later on, and we're going to be hitting him with a Thunder Punch. As you notice, we did have a little bit of extra energy, so we will be very close to another Thunder Punch, and that one Thunder Punch is going to be able to take out that Noctowl, so now we know that our Heracross is a little safe right now. So now we're waiting to see what his next Pokemon is going to be, and he's going to be coming in with a Venusaur, and we're like, okay, this is not a great matchup for us, but we're going to hit him with a Thunder Punch, do some decent damage, maybe hope for a shield, but I highly doubt it. But anyways, we're going to be hitting with the Thunder Punch, and we're going to try to get to another one. We're trying to get to it. Do we get to it? We do get to it. We got to that Thunder Punch just to do, again, a little bit more damage to that Venusaur, because we know that we have a little bad boy in the back. So now we're going to be hitting him again, and we're trying to get to another one, and we almost got to another Thunder Punch. We were so close, but look who we have in the back. We have our boy Fortress. So now we're going to wait a little bit, let the timer go down, so then we're going to be hitting him with Fortress. We know that he was hitting us with fast moves, which means he has a lot of energy. He has 2 Frenzy Plants ready, so we are not shielding nothing. We're allowing this Venusaur to go off with his Frenzy Plants because we have Fortress, and Frenzy Plant doesn't do nothing to our Fortress. It's actually one of the few things that Frenzy Plant does nothing to. But now we're going to be hitting him again with a couple fast moves, and we're going to end that Venusaur off. Now we're going to be going in against the Vigoroth, and we're like, okay, Vigoroth, no problem, Vigoroth. So we're like, okay, you know what, we're a little bit close to that Rock Tomb. So we're like, we're going to shield here. Normally, if we weren't that close to the Rock Tomb, we would not be shielding. So now we get to the Rock Tomb, and we're going to be forcing that last shield, or we're going to be doing some decent damage. There you go, there's that last shield. Sorry, he has one more shield, and now we are going to be going in and using our close combat. Now that little bit of lag got us a little bit more energy on our Heracross. We're like, okay, that's not so bad. So now we force that last shield, and we're going to be hitting him with counter, and we have a shield in the back. Remember I told you guys we wanted to hold those shields for just in case we got into this matchup. So now we're going to be going with the counters, and we're going to finish off that Vigoroth, and that is going to be the end of round 1. So now we're going to be going again, we're going to be going into round 2. And we're going to decide to switch things up a little bit. We know Scrub Lord Dustin, he always has something up his sleeve. So now we're going to be going in, and we're going to be leading in with our Magneton. Now our Magneton's going to be going up against his Vigoroth. He's like, I ain't changing the lead. So we're like, he outplayed us here. He outplayed us. So now we're going to switch out of there because those counters are going to destroy us. And we're going to be switching into our Heracross. Now Heracross, again, I told you guys, do not get into the situation that I just did. And if we do, go for the close combat. We're going to try to do as much damage as we can, or we're going to force the shield. Now, we're going to do a couple counters, and then he's going to make us go down because, again, we are 4 times weak to those flying type moves. So now we're like, okay, we have Magneton against that Noctowl. So we're like, okay, we're going to shield here because he's going to be coming with Psychic. Again, if we knew he was going to go Psychic, we were not going to shield that. So now we're going to go and keep doing a couple more Thunder Shocks, and we're going to get to this Discharge. Now, Discharge is going to be doing such huge damage to that Noctowl. He's going to knock out that Noctowl, but we know he has Vigoroth in the back. So now, again, we are still switch locked, and we're like, okay, we're in some problems right now. But we're going to be doing another Discharge, and we're going to be either forcing a shield, or we're going to be, we're going to do some decent damage. Now, we're going to do a couple more Thunder Shocks, and then our Magneton's going to go down. Now, we have our own Vigoroth, and we're like, okay, cool, we're shielding that Body Slam because we don't want to get hit by this Body Slam. And we're like, okay, cool. Alright, he J-farmed us. He used my own move against me. So now he's going to be doing a couple counters, and then he's going to switch out of there, and he's going to be using his Heracross. He showed me how to use Heracross. Okay, so now we're going to be doing Body Slam against that Heracross, but again, it's not going to do anything to us. We're like, okay, that's it. He outplayed us there. That is the end of round 2. Good, kudos to you. Okay, Scrub Lord. Now we're going into round 3, and we're like, okay, you know what? We're not letting this happen again. We're gonna be starting off with our fortress, and he's gonna be starting off with his fortress, and we're like, okay, mirror match, and we're like, okay, cool. Let's just see what we're gonna do. And we both switch out of there at the same time. Oh my god, we both bring in Heracross at the same time. We're like, oh my god, okay. So now we're gonna go to Megahorn. We have to use Megahorn because we know that Megahorn is gonna do some decent damage, but we want to make sure that we can have the higher energy gain because he went in with close combat. Now if we went with Megahorn, because we went with Megahorn, he lost more energy than we did, which means we're going to get to that next Megahorn faster than he will. So now we're going to keep going with our counters, and we're trying to get to that Megahorn as fast as we can, and we're like, okay, are we going to get to this Megahorn? Are we going to get to this Megahorn? We have to use the Megahorn. If we didn't use the Megahorn, he would have went in with the Megahorn, and he wouldn't be able to take us out, and that would have been pretty much GG from there. So we go with our Megahorn, and we still have our Heracross ready with being able to do a couple counters, but we're going to see what he's going to bring in. Remember, we are still switch locked here, so it's good that he's taking our time. We're waiting here. So now he brings in his Noctowl, and that was so quick. He took out a Heracross in 2 seconds. So now we're going to be using our Alolan Raichu. Now Alolan Raichu, again, I told you, right, does amazing damage, and he switched out of there right out of those we do that Thunder Punch. So that was an amazing move. Make sure you guys all do that. So now we are going to switch out because we know that he has a Noctowl in the back. So now we're going to switch out of there, and we're going to be using our Fortress. Now we're going to be going in and try to get to the Rock Tomb. I think he was trying to get to Earthquake. So we're like, okay, cool. Now we got to force this last shield. We have to force it because now we know we have a Raichu in the back, and he's going to be going for an Earthquake, but we have a shield. Now we're going to go for the shield, and we have a little bit more energy than he does, which means we are going to get to this Rock Tomb faster than he will. So now we're going to go in, and we're going to be using our fast moves, and our fast moves alone are going to be able to just take him out. We're good. We have our Rock Tomb ready for that Noctowl for when he comes back. So now, as that Noctowl comes back, we are not waiting. We do not want to get hit with a Sky Attack on the switch. So we use our Rock Tomb, and we're like, we're good to go. No problems here. And we're like, cool, use your Sky Attack, no problem. Our Fortress is going to go down, but we do have our Alolan Raichu in the back. And with shields down, this is pretty much GG. We're going to be using our Thunder Punch, and that is going to be the end of round 3. So GG. Thank you, Scrub Lord Dustin, for those battles. Alright guys, that is the end of the video. If you guys have your own opinion of what I should do for the next deep dive video, make sure to leave those down in the comments. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you guys on the next one.